Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Well, there is not too much to add to yesterday's video. We're actually following the count, but I've added now a subwave structure count as well, which pretty much aligns with Ethereum. I've moved the high of the fourth wave, which was the triangle, to a little bit lower. It allows me to count the entire thing here as an Elliott Wave triangle. It doesn't really matter so much in practical application, but it allows me to count the wave 1 nicely. The wave 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, the wave 5 might still move it a little bit, but that's more an academic question, doesn't really impact our trading decisions. Important is that we are still heading lower and we are starting to get here close to my target area, which we talked about already days ago, right? That the 21,536 level would be quite a likely one to see in this move down, because it is the 38.2 fib level. So no surprise there. In yesterday's video, I highlighted that I'd prefer if it still touches it. Latest price action allowed me to add here a bit of a subwave count. Now I treat that as a little bit flexible, but it could be that off this wave 4 high, where we're still working here on a fifth wave, circle wave 5, lower, we're grinding lower, that we completed a small wave 1, which was here at 21,830, then a wave 2 correction to the upside, which landed here at 22,200. We retraced just to the 78.6 retrace, are coming down now in what I believe could be a third wave. Now I can't rule out that the third was already here. That's why we talk about micro counting here, the fourth here, maybe one more down in 5. That's a little unclear. Now we've just hit the 38.2 fib level. Need to see now, do we see any reaction to this range? I would prefer if we still see a bit of a more decent wave 4 than 5, and that's when we finish off this micro structure. In the last video I showed you that what we could be doing here, it might be an expanding diagonal. Did take the trend lines off in the meantime, but it could be that we're forming here something like this, which could be overall an expanding diagonal. In these structures, a fifth wave is often the longest one. So this could still come down a bit, but we're now starting to fight with a 38.2% fib level, a level we've already talked about days ago. This is where actually the support area starts. So I know whenever prices come down, people start to panic, but I sincerely hope that on this channel, you have been prepared for these price drops. Now we talked about further drops over the last entire week, that we strongly expect that as long as we stay below this descending trend line here in orange, this descending wedge. It will be interesting to see, do we find support in this region? Of this entire region, which ranges between 20k and 21,536, we have also we have additional support in this upper region. So first of all, we've got the previous wave 4 low. We have a descending wedge. We have it heading into the apex. We've got the 38.2 fib level at 21,285 if I measure the fibs slightly differently. If you ask me, I think we have a really good chance to get to around about 21.3k here, to that 38.2 fib level eventually, maybe even lower. So again, it can use the entire area here. Would not be too much of a surprise. And however, below 20k, we need to talk about, okay, do we not get any imminent upside? Because then we are breaking here through the support area. And then at the moment, it's all about, okay, we've got basically 3 scenarios to work with. We've got the idea that, well, no, I scrap one, but it doesn't make a difference. So we did have the idea, which is technically still possible, but now very unlikely from a probability point of view, that this wave 5 is currently ongoing, and we had here a wave 1 to the upside and a wave 2 to the downside. That's technically still possible, but as soon as we break below, 21,000, let's see, where was it? 21,360, this will get officially invalidated. It already is fairly unlikely now, but it's still technically possible. But then this would have been a wave 1, the move down here currently a wave 2, and that we are then moving up in a third wave of the fifth. So basically that we get this extension of the fifth wave. That's the first scenario getting very unlikely now, because the move down retraced more than the 78.6 retrace of the move up. Doesn't really matter though, because then we've got the idea that this wave 4 maybe was never finished. and that we have here a flat pattern. So it means that the move down of this February high, which was at 24,000 roughly, the move down was just a wave W, the move up an X wave, and we're now coming down in a Y wave. ABC, okay? Absolutely possible and likely as long as we stay above 20K, okay? So that would be an option where then the fifth wave would just form 5 waves, okay? So that's clear. And then the other scenario is that we are already, well, this one, yeah, that this fifth wave finished. Actually, at the moment, as per the count, actually the primary one, but we need to be open to different possibilities. In this scenario, we're watching if we get here 5 waves down, 3, but either way, in this support area, we should also see a reaction, because this is the idea, or this is the scenario where we're already in the wave 2, okay? So this means that the move off the lows here in November was a wave 1, or at least an impulse, and we're now in the correction. The move down looks corrective at the moment, not impulsive, yeah? So we're watching in this wave 2, are we getting an ABC structure? So the move down, ABC, could be a larger A wave, but it should not drop below 20K again, right? Then the move up would be a B wave, that's tradable, and then the C wave down afterwards. So these are the scenarios. And below 20K, however, the question opens up, okay, either we are in this wave 2 because the wave 4 scenario is invalidated. So we really only have the idea, okay, we are in the wave 2, but also then in the wave 2, if we drop below 20K, we probably might do it in one go. Or are we actually in the much more bearish scenario, which, to be honest, is still very, very likely. And as per the count here, still the primary, even though probabilities are closely linked here. The point I've tried to make in many, many videos recently, and I've been making that point for weeks, is that the movement since June could just be a large ABC correction. And we finish here a 4th wave. So this impulse is a 4th wave, and we're coming down impulsively. But even then, if we see the move down as a wave 1 of a larger wave 5, we should see some kind of a counter reaction in a wave 2. 3, 4, and then eventually making another low. So not very beautiful, but that's sort of... So the question below 20K is purely between, okay, are we in the wave 2 or are we actually going to continue with a bear market? So there will be confluence at some point, and I intend to trade these. So that's sort of where we currently are. So above 20K, we still have 2 scenarios, actually 3, but 2 likely ones that point towards further upside from this support region. So I'm watching here for a possible bounce at some point. Wouldn't be surprised to find the low soon. But again, it can use the entire support area. A lot of the altcoins are now at critical pivot points as well. So I would not be surprised to see a bounce soon. But we don't have a signal yet, so it needs to prove itself first, which means don't ape in. Have your plan, buy when you like to, but certainly make your plan. And again, we don't have a signal yet that the trend is over. Primarily, I would still expect it to follow here a little lower in a 5th wave of 5. And then this is the next, well, we've now reached the pivot point anyway. Now what you see, as soon as we break out of this wedge pattern, so you see that on the screen here, as soon as we break out here, and if we broke out today, it would be 22K to the upside. If we break out to the upside, then we need to be watching, is it the 4th wave, or are we actually already rallying to the upside in one of the scenarios I indicated? A break to the downside of the wedge, well, it would not invalidate the pattern, but it would not be preferred, to be honest. Yeah. But then again, just use the support levels indicated here, which are relevant. 21,285 and 20,346 for the yellow box. And above that, obviously, we are now in support already. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.